Have you ever noticed that selfie smiles look a little different from regular smiles or the smiles that people pose when they're being photographed by somebody else? There's something about the way people look when they're doing this that's different. So let me just break it down as what I've noticed as someone who studies facial expression, what I've noticed on the differences. So if you consider the kind of smile that someone would make when posing for a photo. So the key component is going to be this lower face action of the lip corners being pulled upward this way and the cheeks lifting. This is in FACS terms, action unit 12, which reflects the activity or the contraction of zygomaticus major. So like this. And the smile may or may not involve some contraction of these outer rings of orbicularis oculi, the lateral portion in particular, which is FACS action unit 6. So with these two components like that, now we know this occurs when people are spontaneously, naturally feeling happy. When people pose, they may or may not put the eyes in. But this is the main action down here from zygomatic. Now, in selfie smiles, it seems like people have a sharper lift to the corners of their lips and a little puffier on the cheeks. And that's because they seem to be adding FACS action unit 13, which pulls upward on the lip corners much more sharply than 12 or zygomaticus does, so that it goes up this way, lifting the lip corners up at a sharp angle. That's the activity of the levator anguli oris muscle, or it's also known as caninus, and this is what it looks like. Notice how my lip corners are pulled up sharply, the cheeks are puffed out here. What we might call the apples of the cheeks are puffed out. Compared to when we see zygomatic, it's more of a big full lift to the cheeks, and the lips stretch a bit. So selfie smiles have some of this in it. I actually think they combine both actions like this. It's interesting if you notice what I'm doing. I'm adding in this little head tilt, and incidentally or not so incidentally, the head tilt seems to be a part of a flirtation display, at least according to some initial research that I did with Omri Galath and folks in his laboratory, that this head tilt with the eyes up is often seen as a flirtatious expression. So what we see with the selfie smile is this kind of thing. And just to say, this is my anecdotal observation. I'm a expert on facial expression. I've been studying facial behavior for 3 decades, but I have not been able to find any research on this topic. I really hope someone will study it. Someone who took one of my workshops in facial coding said that they were going to follow up with this. So I think there's some research ongoing on the function or the form of the selfie smile, but that's what I've noticed in my own observations so far, is that inclusion of 13 as well as 12. And it's interesting because it's a very different situation that we're in when we're taking a selfie. We're taking it of ourselves and we're seeing ourselves when we do it. It's like looking in a mirror, which is totally different in a social sense from what it is when you're posing for a picture that someone else is taking. There's somebody else there, you're engaging with them. So those social differences probably play a role in the morphological differences, the difference in their appearance. And maybe this inclusion of this flirtatious element, maybe a coquettish element, is connected to this act of taking an image of yourself that you're putting out to the world. So anyway, some of my observations about the selfie smile.